Ladies, I want to talk about the vampire dater. The guy who sucks all your time, is not available for commitment, life partnership, but just is really eating away at all your time. And the worst part is you feel like he's emotionally available. You feel excited by this guy because it's the first guy that's putting in some effort, some time, some attention, and it really feels good because you feel like you're actually feeling him, his emotions are available. So let's talk about this guy. It's going to be very confusing. He's going to be texting you a lot. He's going to be calling you a lot. But if you are actually listening to what he's saying, he's really not available to you. Let me give you an example. That just happened to one of my clients, and of course, it drove me freaking nuts because I can't stand wasting time. So this guy, they meet, they live about an hour away, which is not ideal, but it's not so far away. My client is excited about this guy. He's got a great profile. They speak on the phone. I wouldn't advise this, but they spoke on the phone for 3 hours and really connected. This was the first time she's dated in, I think it was about 10 or 12 years. So just out of the marriage, and she hasn't been able to date because she wasn't ready. She just got into it. And some guy was finally listening to her, which she never got from her husband. And it felt so good to her. But this guy, from the beginning, said an hour is too far for dating. So this problem that he placed in the relationship, it might not have been a problem for her, but it was a problem for him that never got resolved. However, this guy still texted, called, and then when she said, I want to go on a date, she had to kind of push for it in terms of location, in terms of time. So she had to kind of hop into her masculine a little bit to set up the date. But this guy was willing to meet. So it was very confusing. They get on the date and he still addresses, how's this going to work? We live an hour away. All the while he was a vampire sucking away with time, texting, phone calls, all between this date. But the issue still persisted. So by the end of the date, she kind of finally figured it out because I was kind of alluding to her, there's still some flags here that we need to resolve. And she felt like, oh, I guess this guy's not actually available. With further insight, we found out that he was seeing a therapist and didn't really love himself and was not available for the relationship because one, he didn't love himself, and two, the distance was really an issue for him. So he didn't have his own stuff together to be available for partnership, and the hour was an issue for him. So what I want you to see as a common ground most of the time is men that don't love themselves, don't value their own time, they don't have respect for their own time, and because they don't respect their time, they realize it's a waste of time to be dating someone when they feel there's an issue that would prevent it from being a life partnership. But they don't mind wasting the time because they don't love themselves, and getting that attention from you gives them some validation and makes them potentially feel good about themselves, if only for a moment. Now we have to be very careful of these men because it feels like they're emotionally available because there's a lot of talking, potentially a lot of talking of their feelings and how they are. But be careful. If you get an inkling that they don't love themselves, that should tell you they're probably not ready for partnership. You have to love yourself so that you can love another, right? Anyway, let's be very careful with our time, which goes back to a prior video. We got to get on 6 dates. Don't give them texting, phone call. Just get on the dates. Minimal communication between dates until we get to at least 6. And proven that they're probably available for the same thing that you are, which is life partnership. All right, friends, don't let them suck on your time. Your time's too valuable. You love yourself. You're fantastic. And we'll see you next video.